So, minor score. Margin sits at 68 points Brisbane's way, and they control the footy from the kick in, and Dunkley takes a good mark, clear of defensive 50, and can go long up the members' wing, or perhaps do something a little more artful. He places his kick in the Joe Danaher direction. Can't mark that. Off the pack, Fox. Shot a hand pass to Melican, but he's immediately tackled, taken down. There'll be a ball up right on the wing, below the members. 114 plays 48. Brisbane lead by 66 points.
And the crowd has thinned just a little looking around the MCG. Some despondent Swans fans have taken the early train out of Jollymont or Richmond, or maybe found their car somewhere and are listening right now, or maybe they can't bear to. McCluggage, who was dominant early, a high ball. Danaher doesn't get the access, but Loman at ground level did. Quickly spots Dunkley, changed the handball off with a left-footed McCluggage, and Cameron can't mark. Good spoil from Cunningham. Gets it to the boundary, and it's over and out. We'll have a throw in, but Charlie will be eyeing off a stoppage goal here.
Well, you know where they're going to hit it, the Swans. Brodie Grundy.
Danaher will be his combat. Slightly shallow throw in. They come forward to it. Grundy grabs it and hands it off straight away to Goulden. Oh, Errol. It's been that sort of day. Up to the wing. Andrews, he'll be fisting and spoiling away in his sleep tonight. Well, he probably won't get much, Harris Andrews. He'll be such a proud man. What a performance from the Lions.
We did tick over 100,000 people. 100,013, I think, is the number. Hudson.
Oh.
As our friend Big Tone would say, it got there.
It got there.
Or they got there. At the ball up, at the throw in, a free kick Brisbane's way to Josh Dunkley, who is going to receive his second premiership medal in the next half hour or so. He kicks short to McCluggage. Sweeping hand pass forward for Neal. Falling over, wanting to get it back out to McCluggage, but by now he's covered. There's still a chance. Berry to McCluggage. Kicks straight into Grundy's midriff as the big man later smother. He gives to Papley. Clearing kick is well marked by Amati over Dunkley. Just behind the wing for the Swans. He kicks to Blakey. Right on the centre line. Takes off. Man bearing down, so gives a hand pass to Warner. Straightening, miscuing his kick horribly out towards the boundary line. Crowd wanting a lack of sufficient intent. Umpire foot indicates a lack of foot skill, and there'll be a throw in.
Warner had nothing to kick to because the rest of the forwards all gone just kick chasing. They're all trying to just pad their stats up at the moment, so their grand final doesn't look as bad as it is.
Listen to that chant, full voice. Already singing the song.
And our very own Lee Matthews has made his way down to the Lions bench, or the AFL bench right near them, to be ready to present that cup.
Fought with a tap. Neal the handball to McCluggage to Fletcher, slightly off balance. Still gets a kick. Loman still trying to take hangers for fun on the wing. He followed up well after not taking the initial mark. It's forced over the boundary line and out of bounds. Loman turns to the bench. Reaffirms that he can stay out there to the end. So many wounded Lions coming in. We've talked about Lockie Neal. Eric Hipwood has had injections regularly that help his groin issues, just to be out there. Grundy gets the tap. High kick in from Goulden to full forward. Full-chested McLean, but beaten to the punch by Payne, who fisted forward. Well, Starcevic thought he could get on the fly-off half-back. Instead it goes the other way to Parker, who slaps away successfully at goal and puts it through for a second. A few late ones for the Swans to make the scoreboard not quite look respectable, but a little better. 17-12, 114 to 8-6-54.
And even 10 goals now. You just wonder, you're right, Luke Parker, whether he hangs in there to try and get one more next year with the Swans, or he moves on. You think he'll move on, find a new home, and then they've got, it's amazing you can make a grand final, and they've got so many list decisions they have to make, the Sydney Swans, about where they've fallen short badly, and you start with potentially a key forward, and what do? Who do they remove to find one, and is there one out there? Because they have not stood up. Well, not many have those.
Another good effort by Robbie Fox there, whose tackle on Starcevic provided the opportunity for Parker, and he finished nicely. The margin, a nice round 60 points. From the ball up, Florence got it for Sydney, gives a hand pass to Parker, hurried kick forward with the left. Falls into the lap of Darcy Wilmot, been a fine defender. He goes wide, and Berry takes the mark between half-back and the southern wing. He passes to Rayner, coming a long way up the ground, right on the wing. And right over on the southern side of the MCG, if you're watching it from the members' side as we are. Rayner miscues his kick. It's out towards the boundary on the bounce. Stays alive, at least for the moment. Rowbottom works it inboard to Roberts. Hand pass to Parker. Tackled, and his kick slews straight to Wilmot. Hurried kick under pressure to the 50. McKenna up, couldn't mark. Taken by Ashcroft. Gives to McCluggage. Kick to a contest. Ground ball. Cameron made the spoil. Fights on. Supported by McKenna. Tackled. Gets it onto his boot Irish style. McCluggage collects. Gives to Don't Argue. Has to release though and turns it over. Florent escapes for Sydney and drives it in the Grundy direction. Over towards the southern side. At ground level. It is game on. Arriving as Dunkley for the Lions. He's buried by Big Grundy, and there'll be a ball up Brisbane side of the wingers. The congratulations have started on the Brisbane bench. Chris Fagan accepts an embrace. He knows he is a premiership coach. More of that later. He is making history.
He certainly is. The Swans win it away to half forward to McLean, who settles down. There's only 2 minutes 24 of the agony left now for the Swans. Finally, they've found a bit of freedom to play in the last quarter, but it matters little. Have a listen to those Lions chants. They are dancing in the aisles. Could not have expected this day would be so easy. The pass into Parker, who might kick his third goal of the day. All belated and relatively meaningless. All trims the final margin and shouldn't disguise just how dominant that the Lions have been. 17-12, 114 Brisbane remain, 9-6-60 now, the Sydney Swans. And the margin is 54 points. They've kicked 4-2 to 1-1 in the last quarter.
Yeah, plenty of junk time goals. The Lions have just, they've just gone through the paces in this last quarter. Poor Connor McKenna a bit harsh. He's got to come off, and they're going to allow their key players to finish the last 2 minutes on the ground. So as Connor comes off, got a lot of the kids. So Fletcher off, Loman off, Morris off, McKenna off, and Ainsworth off. So they've got their big guns that they can enjoy the last 2 minutes.
Saw a shot of Lee Matthews down in the Brisbane dugout. He'll be presenting the trophy, and it might feel a little for him like that day Collingwood won the flag in 1990. At the ball up, it's Florent on the defensive side of the pack, losing it to Neal. A hand pass on, Rayner's got it. Tried to break a tackle, couldn't do so. Got it to Ashcroft. He gave it off to Bailey, to Big Joe, who maybe with his last kick in league football, kicks a goal. And the Lions' euphoria could not be greater. They lead by 10 goals again, 18-12-120 to 9-6-60.
And talk about a get around him.
His mum and dad.
It's emotional, isn't it?
Yeah, emotional for many reasons, probably, for mum and dad.
Yeah, his dad played a losing grand final in 1990. A famous footy family. This could be his last. And look at that, the arms are out to celebrate. You little beauty. Going to clean that up. Don't go, Joe.
2 goals, 4. He could have had a monster day today, Joe. He's been excellent. Whether it be in the ruck or up forward.
Well, if he does depart, he can do that so well satisfied. They have doubled their score. Out of the middle, it's Warner, taken by Ford. And we're going to have another ball up. Grundy taps it down, follows it up. Another limp kick. It's been touched. No one realises that. None of the men that mattered did. But Zorko just got the message to Andrews that he kicks it out to Dunkley. And they get into some possession footy now. And just lap up this last minute. McCluggage, good last year, great in the first quarter. To Neal, who's going to be in line for enormous. There's so many stories. That's what grand final day is all about. 17 players out there for the Lions today who had never won, were here and not winning a premiership before, going down and losing grand final. So it'll be extra special for them. And they're all trying to get a touch, one after another. Payne to Leicester, down the line to Wilmot. And we're down to the last 35 seconds. Brisbane lead by 60 points. We're counting down to the siren. We heard Katy Perry earlier, but when we get to that siren, Tim, I reckon we are going to hear the Lions fans roar.
They will indeed, Hutto, as the Lions clear the footy. It might come back, though, as Sydney win it back. Goulden, a steering kick into the 50-metre zone, taken by Blakey. Little hand pass to the gallant Fox. He gives to Campbell, whose left foot hook kick goes way across the goal face, bouncing towards the line but staying alive. And there it is. It is Brisbane by 60 points. An Olympian victory for the future Olympic city. Citius, Altius, Fortius, Premiers by 60.